Greetings, Guardians, and welcome to the Voice of the Vanguard. Today I have with me Sully from Sully Games. Say hello, Sully.
Hello, Guardians.
And today we have a special Guardian guest with us today. We have Cody.
Hi guys.
Yeah, just say hi and tell the people about yourself.
My name is Cody. I'm a Destiny player, of course, or else I wouldn't be here. But I'm also a streamer and a clan leader.
Okay, go ahead and give those a shout out. Don't be afraid.
If you want to find me on Twitch, you can just look up Cody Fox. That's C0DYF0X. Stream Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays.
Beautiful.
Awesome. So what we're going to do is we're going to get into what we've been doing in the world of Destiny. We'll talk about, I guess, the Season 11 still. Things that we like and don't like. Then we'll hit into TWAB. And then talk about Cayde again, because Sully never wants to stop talking about Cayde. And whether he should come back or not. And I think that's it, right, Sully?
Yeah, I don't think we have any questions, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think our Discord asked us anything.
Which is weird, but no
Um,
questions.
so yeah, we usually let our guests go first. So Cody, what have you been up to?
Honestly, not much other than just trying to finish up the recaster. I got that done at reset on Tuesday. Now, just casually knocking out bounties and making the most of what I can so far.
Okay, what's your power at right now?
Right now, I'm 1054 base with a plus 13 on my artifacts right now.
Very nice. So have you done the new dungeon yet?
Yeah, I've only got 2 clears on it right now, both
Okay.
with the team. Been practicing solo, but it's been an adventure.
Very nice. What thoughts on the dungeon? Like it?
Oh, I love it. Everything from the aesthetics to like the audio, the monsters that we face in it. It's a pretty great experience all around.
No, yeah, I completely agree with you on that. They did a fantastic job with the new dungeon. Anything else you've been doing?
A little bit of Crucible and a whole lot of Beaver error codes.
Oh my god, dude, yeah, the Beavers have been so bad this season. They were already bad like the past few seasons, but this season they've been destroying me at least. I'm a little worried about that for Saturday, Kane, when we're trying to do that Flawless Crown.
Yeah, but I don't
Somebody-
think kicks count as a death.
But if you rejoin, you're gonna be dead.
Well, we just gotta hope that we finish the
So,
finish the encounter
gotta pray for the Beaver gods. Please
before.
don't kick.
Yeah. You gotta pray to the beaver gods.
What have you been doing, Kane?
Just same thing as you basically, but more involved. So like finishing up all the triumphs to get Shadow. We have all the challenges done now. We just need to get Flawless and a few of the Menagerie challenges done. We 5-man the heroic one. That was actually pretty easy. I was worried that was going to be the worst one, but it was just the
Just
ogre.
gotta 3-man it at some point.
Yeah. And the strat that we used was basically just bubble and well. Like, bubble in the corner, well when you need, like, a couple warlocks to well up if you need it, and then DPS, bubble and well.
Well, didn't we have like 4 warlocks?
I think we had, like, 3 or 4. 2 titans. Yeah. Just bring all the health and DPS that you can bring, right?
Yeah, it's not too bad with it being
Mm-hmm.
750 now. So, like, I highly recommend people out there that are finding something to do, they want to do. Try
Go
to
for
get some
Shadow
of these,
before you can't, right?
Yeah. Well, we don't know if you can't. Once
They say they're gonna do something with like the collection badges and triumphs and titles and stuff, but we don't know what.
So, but might as well knock it out now.
Yeah, might as well. And it's actually been pretty fun.
It has been. I'm hoping to get back into Destiny Hardcore this weekend. And so The Last of Us 2's been taking up
You and your Last of Us affair.
most of my time. It's a solid game, man.
It's fine.
It's definitely not as bad as what, like, people are making out to say. I think there's just a lot of people like review bombing it.
Oh yeah, yeah. You always get like bots and shit. I don't. The world we live in is so fucking weird, man.
So, but first one's definitely better, but it's fine. Like, I haven't had any issues with it. I'm pretty much done with it. I'm getting close to the ending, so we'll see if the ending kind of changes that, but been okay with that. That's most of my time, so hoping to, as I said, get back into Destiny 2 this weekend. Kind of getting back into doing some raids and grinding out some titles. So, you have any titles you're chasing, Cody?
Patiently waiting for every third curse week for Chronicler.
Yep.
I'm
Okay.
so close. I've got 2 more weeks. Well,
Okay, what
2 more lore tabs for Truth to Power, and then I've got Chronicler.
So
What,
like
kinda-
6 more weeks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
luckily that's not going away, so you're not necessarily like super rushed to get that. Do you have any other like titles that you're chasing, or
I've kind of got, like, all the raid titles are just in the back of my head. Shadow, I'm not too far away from. I
okay?
need challenges, flawless, and I think
Nice.
just the flawless menagerie bosses. But,
Okay, honestly, the challenges for Crown are actually pretty easy, to be
Yeah.
honest.
yeah,
So, and I
it's
see
just
that
one of those
we
ones I
actually
haven't.
asked you. I'm assuming by the look of your webcam, you're going to be playing on PC for Destiny.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay. We're gonna have to link up and get you added on Steam for sure. Since both of us we play on Destiny on PC, so if you're
I
looking to
mostly
do
play on
some,
PC.
okay, if you're looking to do some challenges or need help with some of the challenges, let us know. Because Crown, as I said, pretty simple.
Hmm.
Like you get a team that knows what they're doing a little bit.
Yeah,
Knock
that
it out
helps a
real
lot.
quick.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, they're actually pretty simple. But
It's a fun one. I like it.
yeah, it's probably my favorite raid in D2, to be honest. Just on how hectic it can get. Blast Wish is the best raid, but Crown's my favorite.
So yeah, speaking of raids and stuff, we usually ask our guests this, but what's your favorite raid in D2? And if you played it D1?
So, I didn't start playing Destiny until about a month after Forsaken. I got drawn
Okay.
in from all the, like, really good advertising that they had right around that time.
Yeah.
And it took me probably, that was around November or so. It took me until Season of the Drifter, I think, to finally actually, like, branch away from being solo. And my first raid, I wanted to go, like, in chronological order. So I started with Leviathan.
Yep.
And I've been pretty biased to it. It was my first raid. It has that little special place in my heart. So Leviathan is my favorite on like a nostalgia base.
Okay.
But of course, Last Wish is just an amazingly difficult, fun time. So
I can't wait to you to be able to play some of the old D1 raids, because if you like really like Last Wish is like the best raid to compare to what we're gonna be seeing from like D1 raids, like VOG and like King's Fall and Wrath of the Machine would probably be like 1, 2, and 3 for like in
so
terms of raids.
actually, I did go back and play
Oh.
all of the D1 raids.
Nice. Done a little
and-
curveball there.
Yeah, I think it was near the end of the Season of Dawn when it was like kind of slow. We didn't really have much going on. I was like, I'm gonna do that because I got the game around the end of Season of Opulence when it got slow. I was like, I went on Amazon. and was like, okay, screw it. I'm gonna buy Destiny 1, the full collection. Let's go for it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's try out all this previous content that everyone talked about. So of course my big thing was doing the raids. Out of D1, I've gotta say, Wrath was definitely my favorite.
Okay, I've actually seen a few people say that, and I actually did really enjoy Wrath. Wrath had a really cool like boss mechanic, and like some of like the encounters were just very like different. Like we never saw those in the past, previous raids. So it's a good pick. Most people do like to say King's Fall, but my favorite's VOG.
I think I probably would have liked King's Fall more if I hadn't been just kind of dragged through it. My first experience with Kingfall was the 390 version, and I was at like 375. It was immediately after we went in and did a Wrath clear, and I got dragged through Wrath at like 340 light, and luckily that got me high enough to put in some effort in King's Fall, but I was just hiding, popping out, shooting with my Jade Rabbit every 5 seconds.
There you go. Hey, you got him done. At least you got to experience them. We actually have a lot of our clan mates who have never played D1 or have never done any of the raids in D1, so I'm really excited when we start to see some of these old D1 raids come to D2.
Absolutely.
Be able to experience that for the first time with them.
Alright, so let's move on into Season 11 talk.
Okay.
I don't know what to say other than, like, I like the weekly missions, but, like, that's kind of about all there really is to do, is the weekly missions.
Mm-hmm.
There hasn't really been a whole lot else. I guess the dungeon, but, like, I've run that dungeon a few times now, and so... I'm trying to not just chase power. I'm trying to play other stuff before the main, like, the big drop happens. So, like, for me personally, it's been a fine season. It gives me a reason to hop in once a week or two.
Yeah, it's easy to, I think, hop in compared to last season.
Yeah, and then go and do something else.
Yeah.
There's more interesting things to do than last season, obviously. Yeah, go ahead, Sully.
I mean, yeah, so far, man, I was like, felt like this was probably a good time to kind of talk about, like, the season 11, but yeah, I kind of agree with you. I think they did a great job, just kind of keeping things, like, to a point to where, like, there's always something to, like, little bit to do, but it wasn't, like, no life it type moment.
Yeah, it's more interesting stuff than last season, because last season it was just like grind up your bunkers, and that's basically it. And then trials.
Yeah, trials.
That was it.
Yeah, the new dungeon, which we said was a huge surprise when they announced that.
I need to get to the point where I can solo that thing.
Yeah, that's my plan. Is
I'm just
one of these weekends.
I'm just grinding out the last wish to get the Taken Barrier mods, and then I'll be good.
I really like the engram that they introduced in season 11. I thought they did a really good job with that.
Yep.
So hopefully they continue to use that later on, in, like season like probably 13 and 14. I don't know what they'll do next season, since next season's gonna be tied to the expansion. So far, the one thing I don't really like, it's really tough. Kind of a pain to get the currency this season, unless you're just doing bounty after bounty after bounty, which I think we can all agree that we're kind of just burnt out on doing bounties, since that's basically been the main content for like the past 2 seasons. But I mean, like, that's probably my only complaint for this season. I felt they have done a good job so far. I feel like there's actually like the seasons about the current story that they introduced with Sabathun, and not the Almighty, and everybody was focused on the pyramid ships instead. So, Cody, you have anything?
I mean, so far, so good. I'm pretty, like, I'm in a neutral stance for it right now. Last season, I went extremely hard for the first 3 weeks, and I was season rank 100 before the 3rd reset, so I really burnt myself out on everything last season, and I do kind of feel that things are a little bit similar in the whole grand aspect. We're farming bounties, we're going to a seasonal vendor, and unlocking weapons mods and armor from that vendor. But I do think so far this season they've been able to keep it a little bit more engaging. We've got the weekly story, we've got that interference mission with Eris, and it's engaged. It's a little bit more personal than just going and clearing out a bunker and getting a vague story from Anna every time we do it.
Yeah. I actually feel like there's a story, not just clearing bunkers and reading dialogue and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So.
And I am a huge fan of the Umbral engrams for the way that they did that. The armor focusing is a pretty neat feature. I
completely agree.
You can kind of section off the weapons too. Like, you can get the one for the Cold Denial and Falling Guillotine, which are both incredible weapons this season.
Yeah, they did a really good job with the weapons.
Especially the swords. I'm really partial to them.
Yeah, the swords have been great this season.
Yeah.
Especially with all like the new mods they introduced. Like, I think one thing they haven't slept on are mods, because every season we always say that like the mods they introduced were really good. And invites like new builds that haven't been done before. Everyone's going after swords right now, but also there's like secretly like sidearms are really good now with the new mods. Rocket launchers are making a comeback. So it's just really cool to see them mess around with the mod system, and I'm looking forward to see what they do in the next expansion.
Same. I'm excited to see what they do with the weapons, because I think with what we got in this season, like, I think they've done a fairly good job with like the weapons, even like in terms of like exotics too. Even like the last two exotics have felt like exotic weapons.
Yeah, the Wither Horde. What's your rating on Wither Horde, Cody?
Wither Horde is, I don't know, man. It's something else. That first week where it was just absolutely broken on bosses was insane. I'm super glad they fixed that as quick as they did.
Did you ever bring that into Crucible, or no?
No.
Oh my god, dude! The first
it
week
was such a fun. It was
the first week I went in and I was getting killed by it left and right. I was like, I am not gonna bring the same energy. It's like, I'm just gonna sit here and work on my Vigilance Wing Catalyst, because that's another weapon that is broken this season.
That's what I'm working on right now too. Yeah, we went into a game, I think either that first night or second night, and it was literally 12 Guardians running Wither Horde, and it was like when you're like as a kid and you're playing like the game of like the floor is lava. That was the entire Crucible. I mean, like everywhere there was just like the Wither Horde shots, and like you had no clue if it was your own team or the opponents, because like it was it was hectic, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I like that it's got a very distinct sound. Every time I hear that little like malevolent pop, and then it's got like a little bit of a howl to it, I'm like, okay, I'm running that way as fast as I can, and I'm not standing in one spot for an extended amount of time.
I actually kind of think it is like fairly balanced, like now, since it's not like broken with bosses, but like in Crucible, like it's good, but it's not like, as long as it's not like a 12 stack of people running it, it's not broken. I feel like it does really good job in PvE, but once again, it's not just completely broken in PvE. So I do think that exotic's actually like fairly balanced, and it actually feels like an exotic, which is something like we haven't really felt in a while, other than like when they introduced like Heir Apparent. Like I felt like that gun was very exotic, but like all the other ones that they've introduced, like Devil's Ruin, I was just kind of yeah, like have just been kind of like they're just kind of there. But I'm really excited to see on what we're going to be seeing with Beyond Light, with like new exotics and some of the weapons, because this season they've actually done a fantastic job with the weapons.
Yeah, I think this season they're more all like high impact. They're slower rate of fire, but they're higher damage.
Yep.
But they feel really good to use. They feel like they actually do hit harder.
Yeah,
which has been nice.
Yeah. So let's head into the TWAB this week. Have you guys had a look at it yet?
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So this week we start off with them addressing the issue in the Destiny streamerverse.
I mean, it's everywhere now.
Yeah, it started off like for me seeing it. It started off in Destiny, but I don't know if that's where it started. It did.
It did.
Okay.
It started with the Destiny community, and then it just kind of has gone all over the place from just streamers in general, Mixer, to now. I don't know if you happen to see Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
No.
Yeah, their lead director is involved with some stuff too.
No.
Lead
Oh
creator.
my god.
Mm-hmm.
That sucks.
So,
Yeah. Let's not mess up the Viking game, please.
luckily, at this point, I think that game is probably done.
Oh yeah.
It's just probably just making sure everything runs pretty.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's talk about it. I'm reading from the TWAB. So we're going to talk about the incredibly important conversation that's taken place online, the events that led to it. Many courageous women have come forward with the stories of harassment and abuse, and there has been a lot of pain laid but bare in story after story by the survivors. Some of us have not experienced this pain firsthand, can't truly understand it, yet there are many people in our community feeling empathy, sadness, anger, confronted with the truly awful harassment and abuse that so many of our friends have had to endure. Sadly, this wasn't isolated to our corner of the world and has also affected men and non-binary folks as well. In the days that followed the initial revelations, we witnessed more people who have been similarly affected coming forward. There's a bigger issue that the entire gaming industry needs to face. Together we can take action to make the spaces we share better for everyone. Amidst all this heartache, it has been inspiring to see these stories met with a wave of love, belief, and support that is turning into momentum for change. Thank you for reaffirming that, though every community has problems, ours doesn't shy away from confronting them and banding together to overcome them. They have reaffirmed their commitment to enforce the standards of their code of conduct on the platforms and channels they control. They're currently working on other ways to help combat toxicity and abuse in the gaming community. This is going to take time, but we pledge your support and make things better. Yeah. So yeah, like when I read this when it was starting to break, like I was just in disbelief. Like I'll just say the ones that I know that were being shitty, and that was like Say No to Rage, Lono. Like I couldn't believe that when I read that, and I just had to stop following and stop supporting them.
I was absolutely caught off guard by his.
Yeah.
I had literally retweeted something that he had said earlier in that day, and I was like, Lano is a treasure to this community. And then not even 4 hours later, that story broke, and I was like, what?
God damn it. Yeah, I know, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, that's how I kind of was too. I was like, wow, really? But I mean, guys, like, you really just never know
Yeah.
what's going on, and it's just kind of like, honestly, like, how hard is it to be like, just be a good human being? Like, how hard is it to do that? Like, I mean, because reading some of these stories, I'm not gonna like name like some of like, I guess, the predators through this, but like, I mean, some of them were just like horrible, and I'm just like, really? And it just kind of like was like really, like, it's really shitty that this happened, but it was like, thank God, honestly, for like COVID-19, because like this weekend would have been GCX.
Yeah.
So like that would have just been like, I was just like, man, like how hard is it just go someplace, hang out with some friends, and just that it like, I mean,
yeah.
like,
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
like, and it's always funny because like people always want to take like a shot like at female like streamers, like,
Yeah.
oh, they have like
Yep.
the easy button, and it's just like always like, come on, like, there's a lot of stuff that happens probably like behind the content that most people don't realize or know about, and it's kind of really awesome to see some of these women like speak out
Yep.
on some of these like tragedies, and like, kind of show light on what like female content creators like go through on like a daily, or if it's like at conventions. Like I've seen so many like
Yeah.
female content creators who are like tremendous say, you know, they just feel they don't feel safe
Yeah.
when they go to
I think
like
there was
certain
like
conventions, and it's like, come on.
I
Like,
can't remember
can't have that.
if this happened. Actually, yeah, like some people have been escorted away because female streamers or just people that were there that were female felt uncomfortable. So like GCX security took care of that.
Yep.
That was really cool. I will say though that like this also branched out into like other things as well. Like I follow wrestling, and there was like a bunch of stuff about female wrestlers that have come out over the past week as well, and it's been really nice to like hear them come out and be strong about it. So
I'm also a pretty big wrestling fan and have had my heart absolutely broken
yeah,
by some of the stuff in that community as well.
yeah.
That's the thing. It's in every community, unfortunately, and it's something that shouldn't be there, like whatsoever. Like as I said earlier, like how hard is it to be just a nice person? Like come on.
All right. Let's head into the video game talk then. So Iron Banner coming back. I know we all missed it. There was a while there where like it felt like it was always here, like a week.
Honestly, yeah, it has.
now- yeah.
It seems like it's been forever since we've had Iron Banner. To be honest.
It has actually.
I
So
played
we're-
the first week of it last season, and
Yeah.
then
Same.
that
I
was
got
it.
my 3.
just get your armor, and that was
Yep.
it.
Yep. I got my my bow. Was it last season? Was the
Yeah,
bow?
I think so. The bow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I got my bow, and I got the quest line done on all 3 characters. I never touched it after.
Fair enough.
This season, we'll see.
So, Iron Banner and Bonus Valor begins 10 a.m. Pacific on June 30th, and then ends July 7th. The event will work similar to the last season with a few rewards. We'll be adding 2 reprised weapons and curating the weapon reward pool down to 8. So we're getting the Forward Path and the Fool's Remedy, an auto and a side arm. So yeah, new weapons, I guess.
Yay!
Looks like an origin story and a Dissonance 34.
Yeah, I couldn't tell what these are originally, but they said it was reprised. And then also we're going to have reissues with Season of Arrival, Max Infusion Caps, so Shining Sphere, Swarm of the Raven, Talons of the Eagle, Bite of the Fox, O-Rings Maul, Criminal's Dagger. I've mentioned this in the previous podcasts, but like, man, why can't they just make the older stuff like have the power cap or a way to like bring those perks over into the new guns? And this is still making me wondering why they can't do that. Because these are going to be the exact same weapons.
That's what I've noticed. It
Yeah.
feels to me like they're just taking all of the weapons that we were using and loving for the past couple of seasons, just smacking a Season of Arrival badge on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what it is.
That's what they did in D1 too, and it was a mistake. So
Yeah, like I said, I think they should have just been able to just take your previous weapons and infuse it into the new one for like, I don't know, 1,000 glimmer or something. Just to have it be the same. I don't know. Whatever. I'll go down that rabbit hole again if I keep talking about it. So the Forward Path and Fool's Remedy will also be updated with 2 additional perks. Specific to Iron Banner weapons, we're going to have Iron Grip, which improves this weapon stability at the cost of reload speed, and Iron Gaze that improves weapon target acquisition at the cost of stability. So what do you guys think about those? I feel like these are going to be better used on console than PC. But
Yeah, the stability
Probably.
one, I don't think we've got to worry about on PC, especially for mouse and keyboard, for sure. The Iron Gaze, though, I mean, that's, to me, it sounds like it's probably going to feel like a cheat, because we're getting better target acquisition at the cost of stability. I mean, I don't mind to lose a little bit of stability for some better target acquisition, honestly.
Yeah, I want to kind of mess around with these, but I'm gonna have to agree with Cody on that one. And see on how these feel.
Yeah, the target acquisition might be pretty good, but Iron Grip sounds like it. Who cares?
Yeah, it sounds more like for controller use, I think.
Yeah. So they showed off the Iron Banner weapon set, reprise of the Iron Friendship set, Fellowship set, with a new shader as well as a new emblem for the season. What do you guys think of the new shader on this armor?
I mean, it looks good on the Warlock.
I'm a little bit iffy on it. Last season, I had like an orange and blue aesthetic going.
You had a Vanguard aesthetic going?
Yeah, the Vanguard shader for last season. I was really partial to that. But,
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of like it. I kind of dig it. It's a little bit darker. I probably won't throw it on anything because my whole, like, theme right now is red and white. So,
Okay, perfect timing for that, by the way.
All you need is a little blue. Yeah, I think it looks good. Probably just gonna grind out these sets and then not play Iron Banner after that. But the emblem looks pretty cool too. I'm a fan of that emblem. I don't know
it's one
why.
of the smoothest ones that I've seen from Iron Banner in a while.
Mm-hmm.
It's really
It's not like-
polished out.
What is that symbol
Yeah.
supposed to be? Is that a sword?
I think it's a wolf.
Yeah, it looks like a wolf.
It looks like a wolf.
Yeah,
Wolf. I guess it would be because that's what
Side
Iron
profile.
Banner is all about. Is wolves.
but like it doesn't look. That needs to have better detail, I think.
It looks like a sword someone's chopping, and it's like the.
Yeah, but
Trail.
like maybe it's kind of like both.
But it's definitely a wolf. Now that you said that, I can see it.
Yeah, but it just needs to be like a little bit more like detailed, I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So skill-based matchmaking is going to be disabled in Iron Banner this season. Cody, how do you feel about the skill-based stuff being taken away?
So, as somebody who's, like, teetering on the edge of being a slightly above average PvP player, I'm the kind of guy that can get to 4,500 in Legend, or 4,500 in Glory rank, but can't quite hit Legend. So, like, I'm not terrible, but I'm not good. Like kind of right there in between. Skill-based matchmaking in the quick play playlists was saving my life. I was having the best matchups of my life in just quick play. Now, I can either, like, there's no balance. I'm not consistently good now. It's like every other match I'll either slay out or I'll get slayed on. Like, there's no real in between. It just either I'm slaughtered or I'm slaughtering. And while I don't really mind that for myself personally, I can see maybe for some newer players coming in who get pinned up against these 6 stacks of like all unbrokens, it might be a little discouraging. But overall, I feel like taking skill-based matchmaking out of the like main quick play playlist was the right move.
All right.
Especially in Iron Banner.
Okay.
So moving on, we got the Be Heard pin. So that's up for pre-order now. You can go over there and purchase.
Actually, I need to pick this up.
All profits from the sales of the Be Heard collectible pin and emblem will benefit the Equal Justice Initiative. All pre-orders will include the Be Heard emblem. That will be emailed within 24 hours of your order. What I did is I went ahead and I ordered the pin, but I'm not getting the pin. I gave that to JD, and I just took the emblem.
Okay. How much was it?
It's $15.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
Yeah, I
that's
know.
Easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe I'll probably be doing a giveaway for the pin and the emblem.
Okay.
But
Nice.
definitely showing some support to the cause.
Yeah,
My
for
Twitter
sure.
handle's got Black Lives Matter in it, so
Nice.
That's actually one of the really good things I love about Bungie is they are very, like, involved when it comes to like stuff like this, as we saw like with their opening post, with all the stuff that's going on with female content creators, the Black Lives Movement. Like if there's like any type of like natural disaster, like they're always like on top of their game, trying to do what's best for the world and try to help out. So
Absolutely, it's one of the reasons why I'm like sticking with Bungie. Like that's why I like them so much.
mm-hmm.
If it was any other company that made Destiny and had some of the issues that Destiny has had throughout its career, I don't think that they would have had as loyal of a fan base. But
Yeah.
Bungie just... There's an amazing crew over there. These guys are doing an amazing job of, like, working through, listening. They got the best community award at whatever award show last year, and they
Video
totally
Game
deserved
Awards.
it. Like, it's just... Stuff like this just reinforces and drives that home. Like, it's a really good thing, what they do and the support that they show.
Absolutely.
Agree.
So next up we have Twitch Prime. So they're rolling out another month of Twitch Prime rewards. If you are Amazon Prime or Twitch Prime member, you can get your rewards from Amanda Holiday in the Tower. So she's giving away the Cerebral Mind Explosion, Burnout, Plasma Shell, and the Stellar Pavements. The only one I don't have is Cerebral Explosion emote. So I'll be
now you
grabbing
do?
this. Yeah, now I do.
Yeah, it looks like that was probably the only one I was missing too. I don't know if I've got that ship though. I know I had the Burnout Sparrow though. I had that like as soon
That's
as it
probably my
dropped.
favorite Sparrow, to be honest.
Makes
Really
me feel
like
like
that one.
Ghost Rider.
Yep. It's exactly every time I think.
So let's head on into the player support team and the issues that they are seeing and fixes that are being rolled out.
Okay.
So for GCX emblems, players who have donated to St. Jude through GCX stream will receive their emblem later this season and will be notified in a separate email. Then we got the Prophecy Dungeon. So due to an exploit, we have disabled the final checkpoint at the Prophecy Dungeon final room, which occurs after the boss has been defeated. Players who had a checkpoint in the final room will have their checkpoint removed. So there must have been a checkpoint when you finally get to the end where the emissary is. That's gotta be what this is, right?
Yeah, I believe that's the case. I didn't get to hear too much about it because I know they were quick to respond to it, from what I've seen.
Yeah. They
Yeah,
were.
I saw that there was like an exploit where people could just load in and get loot constantly. So yeah, they resolved that, I guess. They resolved issues on June 23rd. Released a hot fix to players. Gear could drop at 750 power instead of the player's actual power. The
Had that
upgrade...
happen a few times.
Yep, same here. Mostly Gambit. Upgrade gift ranks triumph wasn't tracking gift ranks. Purchased at the Recaster. The Prophecy Dungeon solo triumph wasn't unlocking for players solo. The Prophecy Dungeon. Console players were experiencing the blacked out emblems, invisible ships, and power level of 0 in orbit. The almost mighty exotic Ghost Shell and the Saint Vocation exotic ship were appearing invisible. And Tommy's Matchbook Cayde-6 quests have been removed from players' inventories. Following this is the current known issues that they're investigating. So players who have previously completed the Tommy's Matchbook Cayde-6 quest are given the quest again. That's what I have. I'm not picking that up.
Same.
I'm hoping that'll just go away. I'm not picking it up.
I don't know if I should delete it or just redo it again.
Oh my god, dude.
I just
wouldn't
grabbed
do
it
that.
and abandoned it. I was
Yeah,
like,
that's probably
I've got the catalyst done.
yes.
Characters are unable to pick up the Means to an End quest from the Recaster. Masterwork Trainee Ghoul Exotic Bow is not tracking enemies using Chain Lightning. Jade Rabbit's Fate of All Fools, which we talked about the Jade Rabbit earlier, is no longer activating. So that's great. The Rival Warlock Shell from the Guardian games does not show ghost projections. Players may freeze when respawning in Gambit. I don't know if you guys have played Gambit recently, but I'm having this issue all the time. Every respawn.
I don't have to play Gambit this season, so I am happy. I got my Dredgen title, and
but you didn't do your seasonal quest yet.
Oh, I guess
I did my matches in Gambit last week for the weekly quest progress for the darkness things that we get.
Mm-hmm.
And I was constantly getting beavered anytime I tried to join normal Gambit.
Yeah.
And was forced to do Gambit Prime. It was really unfortunate, but I
What
finally
was the
got
other
it
thing you
done.
could do? I think it was escalation protocols.
Yeah, it just took forever.
Yeah, that's what I did instead because I didn't want to do Gambit. And also, players who purchase the Be Heard collectible pin receive an emblem code that says "Contact Merchant for license." I had that. If you had that, just check your PDF again for the code, and it'll be there. So then we got the moves of the week. I haven't seen any of these. Sully, have you seen them?
I have not
Cody?
seen.
Nope.
Okay.
Have not caught those.
Usually, sometimes Sully watches one and then tells me to watch it. So
Just seeing if it's anybody I know. Nope, nobody I know. Yeah, I didn't really get to pay too much of attention with TWAB before we started this.
For the final paragraphs we have is they also want to remind us that they're proud of us as a community. Last week they saw truly inspiring triumphs to talk about. Donated over $800,000 during the 4-hour block for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Donors went
Which was
on
insane
to raise more than $6 million for the entire marathon. Yeah, they hit their goals within an hour, maybe all of their goals. It's crazy.
Bungie's block destroyed it.
They did. Then Lupo had a good block too, but his went on for, I think he had a 7-hour block.
Jesus.
Yeah, because he extended every hour for every 250,000 that he got.
Really?
Yeah.
So,
Damn.
Yeah. He got 900 and high 900s. It was, I think, just shy of $1 million.
yeah, something like that. They almost doubled what they made last. It was, I think, around 3.8 million was what they brought in last year.
Yeah, I was thinking, it was around 4, but I couldn't remember exactly. But that's what's so crazy. I was telling my roommate about this. I was like, they literally just raised $6 million for St. Jude's. You literally have COVID-19 going on. You have just so much other things. You have the Black Lives Movement, and then you have all of the sexual harassment stuff going on, and there's still this nice light to see of just on what the world can do for good, what the GCX community has done. To raise $6 million this year is insane.
Yeah.
I think they're over $12 million in their entire course, in the 4 years. So
I love the GCX St. Jude's
Same.
charity donations, everything. I know people.
Have you ever been to Guardian Con?
I haven't. This was going to be my first year. I was super excited for it, and
Same.
of course, COVID-19.
Yeah, you would have had a blast, dude. This would have been my 4th year, and last year was insane. Last year was the first year, it felt like a convention.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully we can meet up next year. At GCX, man. I think you would have a blast.
Oh yeah, I definitely. Hopefully, we don't have any more pandemics going on. That would be fantastic.
Hopefully not.
I would like to have a summer and vacations, and definitely GCX for sure.
So our question of the week this week is, should
Forgot all about that.
So Bungie bring back Cayde-6? I think we've talked about it on the show before, but I've always said no. They need to have actual stakes in their game, and leaving Cayde dead proves that there's something at risk here. They can take gambles. I don't know. Cody, what's your thought?
So, I'm a lore nerd, straight up. Won't deny it at all. The Cayde-6 situation is something I'm actually like really passionate about, because as somebody who got drawn into Destiny from watching the Forsaken campaign ads, Cayde was like one of the first characters that really like locked with me. So I love Cayde. But I want Cayde to stay dead. For the love of God. Stay dead. Because next season, our raid is in the Deepstone Crypt.
Right.
And for those that don't know, that's where Exos originated. So there's some really huge implications there. And a lot of people have speculated, hey, maybe we get Cayde back because we're going there. But I don't want to see that. I want Uldren, when he finally comes out of hiding, to be important. That won't happen if Cayde comes back to life. Cayde stays dead, Uldren gets importance, we have something cool to go there. But what I would like to see is something from Cayde's past resets as some kind of contributor to the raid. Like, I want to go in the first encounter, your fire team finds like a memory fragment or something like that.
Yeah, like voice logs or something.
Yeah. And tells you some kind of hint, mechanics. Boom.
He was he always had stashes everywhere, right? Like that was his thing. Is he would stash stuff so he wouldn't forget it, or if he forgot it, he could have a map go back to it. So I wouldn't be surprised if there was a bunch of Cayde stashes in Deepstone Crypt, or just on Europa in general, really. That'd be pretty cool. Sully, what do you have planned?
Yeah, I hope he stays dead as well. I think it makes Forsaken that much better, if as long as like he never comes back. It's also nice to kind of see like we get like an emotional attachment with like some of these characters, and I think it kind of like makes it like more meaningful when they like die. And like, so like if they just like, oh, like you're 8-6 back, like the next time a significant character like passes away, and it's just like, well, who knows, by next expansion they might come back,
Space magic.
be alive. Yeah. So yeah, I agree with you guys. I do think like he'll have some type of like little impact, like either an Easter egg, stashes, or like maybe like there's like some type of like flashback cutscene, and Cayde-6 is in there. But in terms of like coming back and being like the Hunter Vanguard, because I agree, I want Uldren to be the Hunter Vanguard. I think that would make a lot of great character development story if they introduce Uldren to us. But yeah, what Cayde to stay dead.
Yeah, so give us your answer in either the YouTube channel video, or you could leave it on chartshot.com under the post itself, or you could just tweet at us. We'll give our Twitter handles at the end. Cody, if people want to find you, how do they find you?
You can find me on Twitch and Twitter, both of those at Cody Fox, all caps. Replace the O's with zeros. C0DYF0X.
And Sully?
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, and now Facebook at Sully Games.
I saw you post. I was just like scrolling through my Facebook. I'm like, wait, Sully? But yeah, you can also find me on Twitter, CSG Our website, chartshot.com, for audio, video, rank content. We do a wrestling show every week, and we also do just general video game show every week. You can follow me here at Kane Play Stuff. That's where we stream the shows. Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern is when the video game show goes live. And you can subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, anywhere you can get podcasts. Leave a review, a rating, anything really. And you can email me, thomas@chartshot.com. So until then, Guardians, eyes down.